in the first place. And then confidence, even when sometimes you have to build that within yourself through whatever means, music, just going after what you believing and seeing what happens. Confidence is super important. So whatever you can do to build that confidence, and funny enough, to build your confidence, you're going to have to fall down. You're going to have to fail. And then you win through the failures, and then that builds your confidence. So that's why those two stand out.
You're listening to the First Class Life Show, hosted by Lindsey Vertner, a holistic personal development show for high-achieving leaders who desire to maximize their impact while creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. So grab a drink, grab your notebook, and let's get started. Hey, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of the First Class Life Show with your host, Lindsey Vertner. That is me. And I'm super excited for today's guest because you're going to love her. I love her. She's one of my favorite women, and we had the opportunity to meet a couple years back, and we've been connected ever since. And she just does amazing things, and her story is awesome. And listen, I know that y'all got busy lives to live, and you are spending your time here with us today. So we're just going to hop right in the conversation, and I want to introduce you guys to the beautiful Kisha Zullo. Hey!
I would break out my pom-poms, Lindsey Vertner, but I don't know if your audience is ready for that.
Listen!
It's like, if you think I'm kidding.
Yes.
I'm that type of person. I have pom-poms, whatever it takes to get my motivation and my energy up. I have it next to me just in case.
Hey, well, we love it because we love energy, we love motivation, and all of the good things. So I like to sometimes call myself professional hype woman.
Yes, that you are. I was just saying to you before that your energy is always on 100, and I am hopefully going to match your energy on this call.
I don't have no worries. So I know all of the phenomenal things that you do and a little bit of your background, but can you share with our First Class family, who is Kisha? Give us the good, juicy tea, peel back the curtains and let us know. Who are you, girl?
So that is such a big question. When you asked me that, I thought, where do I go with it? What do I tell them? Do I tell them I'm Jamaican? I was born and raised there. Do I tell them my favorite color is yellow? I was like, where do I go? So I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur. You know that for work. But I think the thing that I would want people to know is that I really am here to serve and be of service. I am, a widow. I am a stepmom to an amazing daughter who's now 19. She's been in my life since she was a year and a half. So I call her my daughter, and we don't look anything alike. So when people see us, they're like, "What's your daughter?" Curious. And let's see, I have an amazing family that just loves and supports me. I love to be around people who are positive and moving forward. Talking business and entrepreneurship gets me super excited. What else do you want to know, Lindsey Vertner?
Now, you mentioned that you are a widow because, here on the First Class Life Show, we often talk about the things that people don't want to talk about, the things that make us uncomfortable, those obstacles and those struggles that we go through in life that essentially make or break us sometimes. And it's important that we are acknowledging those moments and to lose someone, and not only someone, but your spouse. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that was a tough time. And I hate to just,
I know. Did we talk about high energy, Lindsey Vertner? I say that because I can finally accept that now that's a part of who I am, because it's really shifted the person I am and how I look at life and how I look at interactions with people and how I make decisions about my business. So I have to mention it because it was huge. It was sudden loss. It was 7 years ago, and he was my best friend. We had known each other since we were 20 years old. I'm in my late 40s. Don't mind sharing. I won't give you the exact number because that's not your business. But you know what I mean? So he was my best friend. I'd known him for, a very, very long time. Our lives went in separate directions, and then we came back together. And someone who was truly my friend first before I'm talking decades before we even thought of a relationship. And so then, we got together, got married, we're together for 10 years. And then I get the worst call of my life. And you know about this, about the sudden, because of your experience, Lindsey, of how life just shifts all of a sudden. And you are not prepared. And I was not prepared. I wasn't emotionally prepared. I wasn't financially prepared. I wasn't any kind of prepared. And then I have this amazing daughter who at 12 years old is losing her papa. So a lot of learning. So 7 years, I can talk about it without crying as much. I still, it's still fresh for me. And I understand the grieving process much more than I did. You say to people, I'm sorry for your loss. And you mean that sincerely. But when you get this gut punch that you did not expect, and then I, got anxious about, well, how am I going to deal with loss of any kind? Because I can't really, deal with this. So it's something that I am still working through, but I can share with people, yes, I'm a widow. And I don't know what else to say about that, but it has really shaped me in a very good way. And it's let me know that God is real and that there are angels in unexpected places that can lift you up at the most random time when you need it. And it's so there's beauty in the pain and there's power in the pain, because then I had to just fortify myself and say, okay, you have a business to run. You now have to keep things going at the house and all of this. So, it's all good. God knows what you can bear. So I guess, that's what's happening. I'm bearing and moving and learning and growing. So.
Mm-hmm. And so there's two things that I want to point out that you mentioned. One, that you said it was 7 years ago, but it's still fresh, and you're just kind of getting to that point, because I know recently, especially with the pandemic, a lot of people have suffered loss. And even prior to that, losses all around us. And I feel like the older I get, the more and more people that it's like, oh, I lost somebody just yesterday. And then next month it's somebody else losing somebody. Mm-hmm. But I often see, especially with social media, how people are like, oh, I'm still grieving, or just the comments like, why, it's been a year, you should be fine. Time, don't worry about it. Time will help you heal and get over it. And it's like, that's not really a thing, because recovery is an ongoing journey. That grieving is an ongoing journey, and you don't really get over it. It's more that you learn to move forward with it, because it becomes a different piece of you. And really, time doesn't heal anything. It's what you do with the time that you have that does the healing.
Right. You hit the nail on the head. And if I could offer any advice to anyone who is around someone who's grieving, what things to say and not to say. First of all, know it's different for everyone. It looks different for everyone. Do not judge someone's path. If you see someone like rebounding fast, that's their business. The best thing you can do is to just say, how are you today? And then listen, because they will tell you how they are. I will tell you, I will say it. How are you today? And then let them just share how they are. And then the advice, you can, just be there. I had a friend, I talk about Tara all the time because it was just incredible. And she's just one example of many, who just every day I would come home and there's a gift at my door, flowers, gift cards. Can you imagine? And it was just, she didn't ask me for anything. She didn't expect me to reply to her. She just kept doing it. And then when I was able to say something about it to her, and that's why now I'm still 7 years talking about her, because I really appreciated just that show of love, and my family just for standing in. My little sister, I remember we were, and I know we need to go in a different direction soon, but I just want to share, my family was so cool. Because my little sister, I remember we were at the hospital and I was numb. I was numb for a very long time. And my little sister just went shopping at Target. She bought me, because I needed to stay close to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And she just went and got everything that I needed. She didn't even ask me. She already knew my size. So she just, bought me what I needed for the overnight stay. And it was fast. He passed away as a result of a car accident. And I remember my other sister just, she made all the reservations. My mom, of course, the queen herself, she was incredible. Just everybody did. I didn't have to ask. And that's all you need to do when you have someone who is grieving. Just show up for them. And, it's not a matter of what do you need. Just anticipate. What would you need in this situation? Would you need something to laugh at? Would you need, and when it comes to food, gift cards or to restaurants are best rather than cooking and trying to, because I had no space in my freezer, Lindsey, for all the food that I was receiving. I was like, this is wonderful, but where am I going to put it? So if I could just offer those little nuggets about how to help someone going through that. And then, for your own life, just prepare for the unexpected. Always have an emergency fund. Because listen, when I tell you we were making plans for the summer, we were just, plans for that day. And then just like that, our lives changed. So, that's it. But you move on and you hold on to those moments that make you laugh. And, even the crying moments are good because you're just getting it out and you're making the best of the life that you have, which is so precious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me share. I didn't know we were going to talk about that in detail, but I appreciate you because maybe that'll help someone else going through something similar,
We go wherever we're led to go, okay? And, there's something that you mentioned about, all of the people showing up for you. And I think that's important to understand as leaders whenever you are leading, whether you have a company or whether you're in the spotlight or, even if you're just the lead in your household, lead in your family, or leading your church community or, wherever it is, because we are all leaders in some right. But whenever you are making a difference and making an impact in the lives of others, whenever it's time for you to need that help, people rally around and they have no issue showing up for you. And a lot of times, us as leaders, we're the ones that have the issue asking for help.
Yes. No, exactly. I will do it. I'm Jamaican. So, we need multiple jobs. We need to do things ourselves. It's just a thing. And I was raised by a very strong single parent. So I watched her do everything herself. So I thought, I got this. Didn't know. You need help. You need help. Yeah. So I'm glad you said that because it's true. As leaders, we're like, it's our responsibility. We will take care of it. And, we need help too. Everybody does. So it's a good point, Lindsey.
In this specific instance, I know that you mentioned that you were numb. And so you were just kind of there and like everybody just showed up and started doing for you without you even asking. But what advice would you share as far as being able to accept that help whenever you're a leader?
I would say just surrender surrender everything. I had to surrender my house. Because I just let the doors open. People were coming in and coming out. My mother-in-law, she was incredible. She is still incredible. She stayed with me for 6 weeks or something. I don't know, for a long time. And we wouldn't say much to each other because that's, her only son. So we wouldn't say much. You okay? You good? And we'd go to our rooms and, so that was nice. And like I said, my foundation. So you would ask me, what advice do I have? Say it again, the question, Lindsey, because I don't want to go off. I don't want to go off on a tangent. So specifically.
To help leaders accept help.
Accept help. Surrender. That's the word. Surrender your house. Surrender how you think things should be done, especially if you're a perfectionist and someone comes in. Right. Well, she didn't clean it the way I just surrender.
I love that.
Because then you can spend time just dealing with yourself. I was listening to Tiffany Alice, the Budgetnista. Do you follow her on Instagram? Yeah. So she just recently had a loss of her husband. And the thing that I was so impressed by, she was like, I left for 2 months to Bali. Now, not all of us can leave for 2 months to Bali. But if you are fortunate enough to have a community of people willing to help you pick up the pieces, just let them. Just surrender and let them, because you're going to appreciate it so much more on the back end when you look back. How did I even do that? I did not do those first crucial months by myself. My Mary Kay family showed up for me. As you know, I'm a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And that year I chose to go to our large conference in Dallas. And we were all, I remember, because it's total girlfriend time. We do each other's makeup. We give fashion advice. It's really, really girly. It's a giant sleepover. So we're in the hotel room and we're all getting dolled up to go, to the conference. And I just burst out crying. Lindsey, like everybody, the mood is happy and high. And I'm like sobbing uncontrollably. And I remember Abby just grabbing me and squeezing me and just, just letting me sob in her clothes. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So you never know how important those moments are until you look back. So I would say surrender and receive the help graciously. And don't think that, it's not being done my way. Just let people help you.
Yeah.
And also there's some discernment there too, because there's some folks that, like, now I'm really going to get into it. There's some folks who said they said some things to me. I'm like, not now. I literally had to block some people out because they were projecting a little bit about how I should get on with my life and move on, and why aren't you dating and all this other stuff. And I'm like, woof, girl, stop. I know they meant well. So I won't beat them up too much. But that's why I said listen more than you talk.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
That is so good. Are you loving the First Class Life Show? Then join our private Patreon community. Not only will you help to support our ability to provide you with great content, but you can also get exclusive perks like bonus videos and resources, discounts, episode transcripts, and more. So what are you waiting for? Join today at patreon.com/First Class Life. Again, that's Patreon, patreon.com/First Class Life.
Wow. And I know they're going to be like, did I say that? No, I love you all.
Is she talking about me?
Right. No, I love you. I'm not talking about you.
This time.
Right. So
yeah. I know specifically we were talking about surrendering
yes.
in the situation of grief, but even just in general as a leader, because I can think back. So whenever I was doing an international retreat, and the first time that I actually had a full assistant with me present, like it was very hard for me to just let her do things. And by the end of the week, I had gotten it. But it took me some time still. Like I had to remind myself, Lindsey, she is here for a reason. Lindsey, she's here to help you. And like, cause she would, be eager to handle this. Like I would start to do it. She'd be like, no, I got it. And so like, I had to tell myself like, let go and let her, so you can walk in your genius. Like she's here to help and let her help. And so it applies to all of the areas that we go through as leaders, is just being willing to surrender and letting go of control, because we know it's our babies.
Oh my gosh. Right. And I know exactly what to do. I know. No. I mean, this year we had WIB Summit. I'm so proud of it because for many reasons. The Women in Business Summit, we'll talk about it more, I know. But it's an event that that I planned, that you were a fabulous speaker who came in 2018. Yes. So you know all about WIB. This year, and I have in the past, but this year coming back out of being virtual for 2 years, we were live this year. And it felt so incredibly good, Lindsey, to just let Adam be the on-site event planner, if you will. I sat down, I had lunch, because normally I'm an event planner, so I'm all over the place checking everything. It was so nice to be able to say to Adam, can you make sure all of this is getting done, and just have someone do it? And I didn't have to worry. And he felt great because he was a new grad, and, and I know we're going to work together again. He was with me just for that event, but it felt so great to trust and let go and I can't wait to do it more and let people learn through the process. As someone trusted me when I was coming up, in the event planning world, and made many mistakes, fell on my face lots of times. And one of my most amazing bosses, she let me fall on my face and then wasn't critical, didn't fire me. And, it was recoverable, and I moved on and I learned from the experience. So that's the beauty and the gift that you're giving someone else, like you did with your assistant.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
And even just thinking about how you said you got to enjoy the conference, because I had put on a women's empowerment conference for 3 years in a row, and we were, gonna do that fourth one, and then the pandemic hit and everything. And so we had phenomenal speakers all 3 of those years.
Yes.
And as much as I wanted to enjoy them, I couldn't be in like sit down and enjoy mode, because I'm managing all the pieces. Like even with a partner there, it was still like, all right, got to make sure this speaker's good, these attendees is good, the vendors are good, the lunch is going to be all right. Like, and constantly doing all the things. And so you don't get to sit down and really take in all these amazing people that you've brought together.
Yeah, very true. And so I'm still learning. I can't say I'm perfect at it, but I felt I was giving myself a pat on the back for taking the giant step of just letting it, you've assigned it, walk away. Stop checking on it. Like, you don't have to worry. Just believe that it's already done. And if it wasn't, then you would find out, right? So,
right?
Yeah. That was good.
Yes. Now, we're talking about your Women in Business, which is amazing. The link for that will definitely be in the show notes. So make sure you check it out, because it's awesome.
Yes,
and earlier you had mentioned, you had to keep running your business in the middle of this loss. And so that was the other thing that I wanted to bring up. Like, here you are, this leader, you have your businesses to run, your event planning business, because you were already doing the conference at that point as well, right? Because you're you're in the teens with your years, 15, 16, right?
Yeah, we're going into year 18, which is
wow. Nuts. Oh gosh,
I know. I was a baby when I had this crazy idea. We're turning 18 next year. It's gonna be really fun.
Oh, that's going to be a big celebration. Yeah. You have to, because 18 is like, you got, 13, 16, 18, 21, like.
Right. So we have to celebrate. This one is going to be very much fun. I mean, we always have fun. We dance and we have our DJ and all of the things that we do while we're learning. But yeah, next year I'm excited. We've already started planning. We just wrapped the 17th on whatever day it was, May 18th. It's over. It was last month. And now it's on to the 18th. So.
Yes. So whenever you are a leader and you have these roles and then you're hit with something so life-changing, how do you show up still? Because oftentimes, we either feel obligated to still show up, or, we force ourselves to still show up. So how did you show up in this time?
Because I had to, and because I love what I do, I just threw myself into work. My Mary Kay business is so fluid that, it was so good to be able to have customers that I built. Today, actually, oh my gosh, Lindsey, today is my 13th anniversary of being a beauty consultant. It just dawned on me. So yes, today is the 13 years, and it was on a whim. Direct sales, as you know, it's an interesting business because we both been a part of the direct sales world. But the thing with my Mary Kay business that I love is that the founding principles: God first, family second, career third. Like, your faith is first, family second, career third. So I really took advantage of that in the first few months. And then I said to my recruiter, my director at the time, I said, all right, let me just set a goal for myself and keep going. So being able to show up is because, number one, I have to. There are bills to be paid. And because I loved what I did, I threw myself into work. That was, I don't want to say it was my therapy, but it was my way of coping with keeping my grief at a distance. Now, I should say there's danger in doing that, because if you're not dealing with it, it's still there. And but I'm at the point where I finally think, therapy is the next step of walking through how I'm feeling about just life in general. I think that would be a good step for me next. But I love what I do. I love being an event planner. I love supporting my nonprofit clients and my corporate clients in their events. I'm working on an event that is coming up in September. That's so much fun. And I love when I have a client who just lets me do my thing. This is 25 years of experience. And he's like, yes, okay, talk to Kisha, do this. And I'm like, yes, this is my ideal client because he's trusting me to make sure that his very important event, in September is successful. And I love digging into the details. So because I love what I do as an event planner, and because I love my Mary Kay business, and because it gave me such a great outlet to still be creative, to still be around joy and fun, which is so important. I could not, like, if I kept myself into a cocoon, Lindsey, you would be talking to a very different person. So, yes, there are times that I retreated and I didn't want to see anyone, but then I said, I have to surround myself with joy. I remember that same week or a week later after my husband passed away, my sister was graduating with her doctorate. And my other sister from Canada came down and we were having a family celebration. So, and now I know, the holidays were new and different. So life is going to keep moving. It's just how you choose to show up in it in spite of all the storms, because we're never without storms. And hopefully you get enough breaks between the storms. But, looking at when you mentioned COVID earlier, I was thinking about families who lost, mother, father, all the storms came at once for that person. And so, yeah, that's how you show up. It's just, you do, because you have no choice. And if you do have the choice, like, Tiffany Alici, the budgetista, she had the choice because she had built a solid foundation for herself that allowed her to step away from everything for 2 months. And I'm loving being a mentor of hers, a mentee, I should say, of hers, because she's sharing so much gold about how to construct your ideal life and what you do with First Class Life, and talking about, going away to Bali and having these amazing experiences. I'm like, yes, Lindsey, yes to all of that. It's super cool and important.
And I love that you said that, life moves on, because oftentimes, especially when we're going through obstacles, when we're going through the storm, we can feel like this is the end, like there's nothing left, like I'm not going to make it, but life keeps moving on. But it's what we do with that life. And how you mentioned, you had this passing and then your sister's graduating at the same time. It made me think of when my grandma passed away, whenever I was in high school, like the very next week, my nephew was being born. And so it was like the death and the life all at the same time. It's like on one end, you want to be excited for this new child. On the other end, you're grieving the loss of this person that was close to you.
Exactly. And so what do? You ride the wave and you figure it out, because you're blessed to still be here to figure it out. Your story is incredible. What you went through and what you continue to share, and that huge smile. Like, when I think of you, I think of energy and I think of that huge smile of yours. And then I know your story. So I'm like, and she's still smiling, and she's still going, and she's still inspiring. I'm like, that's what you do, because the alternative to me just feels wrong. It doesn't feel like life. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. And that makes me think of, like when we're going through things, once we get over that mountain and we get to the other side, like we have to be willing to share our experiences, because it's like you got through it for a reason. Now it's time for you to take what you've been through and help someone else get through, even if it doesn't look exactly the same. Like there's things that you learn that you can use and utilize to help others.
Absolutely. I do believe in passing it on. Even in my event world, I get a lot of questions from, new to the career, folks who are new to the career of event planning. I share as much as I can with my customers who are, doing just an inquiry to find out if we're a good fit. and they tell me about their event. And I said, well, think about this and that. So absolutely, with Wib Summit, when it first started, the idea was passing on knowledge. So the title was really long. It was Women in Business, Passing the Baton Today, Tomorrow, and Beyond Summit. Girl. I was like, let's shut that down a little bit. So now it's just Wib Summit. And we were handing out batons to our speakers, and as a reminder to keep passing it on, because that's how you find out information that can be life-changing. It could be that one little nugget that you need to make it through your day, to, make a very important decision. You never know. So I try my best to be that way for my clients and for people that I meet. And to your point, I've been talking a lot more than I used to. I used to just not want to talk about what happened. But now if people ask, I do. I share.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yes, and I'm so glad that you are sharing. And I swear, y'all, listen, family, okay? Me and Kisha have been on the same wavelength of energy, because if you're not watching us via video right now, we both have on black and white. Right. We both have braids in, completely unplanned. And yes, we can do that, but this was different. And look, and I just noticed we both got
lip color. I was like, I wasn't going to say it, Lindsey, but we are wearing similar lip colors. Is yours pink? Mine's this courageous pink color.
Mine's it's like a dark pink.
See, this is mine.
Red.
I have it right on my desk so I can reapply. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's within hand's reach.
Yes, exactly. It's like right on my desk. Oh my God.
I brought that up because you had started to talk about, the purpose behind Wib Summit. And I definitely wanted to ask you, what made you want to start the Women in Business Summit? And you already started to feed into that.
Yeah.
So that was perfect.
We're on the same wavelength. So it was started because of an experience with a male coworker. We were just chit-chatting after work, and he shared how much he made, and it was significantly different than my salary, with similar experience, background, all of that. So then I started to think about work, because I was raised to believe that you just do the work, you follow the rules, and you advance. That's not the case. I learned that later than probably I should, because I would have been able to save a lot of or earn more, first of all, because there's a couple things that I want to say. I want to say that entrepreneurship for me is the gateway, if you're not making your salary, to go in that direction, because you can significantly change your salary that way. Your first salary sets the pace for the remainder of your salaries, unless you've changed your life and career significantly. So I was just looking at the landscape and having this nagging question as I'm driving into work. I thought about it over the weekend, and it was right as I launched Events of Joy, which is my event planning company. And I thought, I should plan an event for women that bring other successful women together so they can share how they were able to navigate things like salary, their personal development, image, so that's what started Wib. And then I thought, I don't know, I know I have event planning down, but we're going to need support and resources. So how do I get sponsorships? Well, I knew a girlfriend, and my sister at the time, she worked for a Fortune 500. So I was like, oh, they definitely could sponsor. So I brought together these amazing 10 women. They all said yes. And we just launched into it, all volunteer. And we launched the first one. And it was a brunch on a Sunday. And from feedback, they were like, you're competing with God's Day. So no, you're gonna have to move it from Sunday. So we went from a brunch, half a day, to a full day conference. And, that's what started it all. It was just wanting to be able to provide a platform for women to come together, to grow personally and professionally, and learn from other women who they admire, or women who are at a place in their career or their personal life or some kind of growth, that they can share those things with someone else. How to communicate better, just so many different things. And now we're solidly focused on helping the female entrepreneur grow personally and professionally. So a lot of the classes that you'll see for next year will be around entrepreneurship, because there are so many women who have a side hustle, if you will, but a business.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be the business that saves you in a situation like a pandemic. And look at the numbers of employment during the pandemic. And it was immediate. And in my industry, the hospitality industry, I think within 2 weeks or a month or something, we were 6 million unemployed. People were furloughed. And do you think that the bills stop, or, that no. And so it's important for me to serve in this way, because I feel like you always need a plan B. I feel that you can build something that's solid from the beginning. As far as a small business, let me help you to do that, or, through the people that I bring to the conference. And I'm so excited. I'm excited, Lindsey, from 17 years ago to today. Last night, I met this incredible woman. She's in her 20s, Natalia. And I'm telling you, she just relit. Not that I needed the fire to be relit, but she just got me going, because, this woman was fighting a huge personal battle. And then she's talking about helping small businesses grow. I was so on fire. I'm like, okay, let's go. This is why we do what we do. It got me so amped up. I was so excited.
Do you want to be surrounded by other high-achieving women who are working on their goals just like you? Are you looking for your circle that's passionate about their own growth yet still wants to see you shine? Do you desire to be supported through collaborations and connections instead of competition? Then Cowork and Chill is your place to be. Cowork and Chill is a hybrid of virtual co-working and virtual networking. It's a community of women who are striving to build living legacies. This is the space to create meaningful relationships with other equally yoked women, where you're being poured into just as much as you pour out. So if you're looking for your crew for supportive accountability, then sign up today at coworkandchill.com. That's COWORKANDCHILL, coworkandchill.com. And that just means you're walking in your purpose, because I know there's a lot of work putting on an event, and, a growing event, and, serving the people, and to still be passionate about it. Yes. 18 years later, that just really means that you are fully walking in your purpose.
I believe so. I believe this was not me, my design. I believe that it was from God. I finally have said it out loud and accepted it, that this has nothing to do with me, because things will just show up, and I'll be in the right place and meet people, or I'll get a call from a potential sponsor. We saw your event. We want to, I'm like, I didn't, so if you are someone who has an idea, just go for it. I've spoken to executives who are looking at their relaunch when they retire, and they're thinking, oh, I want to be a life coach. I want to do this. And so our conference has helped those women decide where to start, because you can have the passion and know what you want to do, but then there are these other things that you're maybe not great at, or are not interested in doing, that someone else can help you with. And another thing I've learned, Lindsey Vertner, is that I can hire someone to cut my grass. Remember I was telling you about surrendering? I was trying to do everything. This summer, I was like, a friend of ours said he would help, and I said, absolutely. Let's talk about it. Blessing.
I'm clapping.
Blessing. The next thing I have to work on is increasing my income so I can have someone as a housekeeper. I have a list. I have a first class life list. Okay.
Listen, and that's what you need. Okay. And let me tell you, I will be the first one to say, because my husband and I, we had a little tit for that whenever I first did it. But I know for me personally, hiring a housekeeper, it took a while to get there, because it's like, oh, I can do this myself, why am I pay somebody else?
Right.
But once you start to grow and understand that your time is important, your freedom of time is important. And I don't like cleaning. I keep it clean because I have to, but I don't like cleaning. Whereas there's other people where cleaning is relaxing to them.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
My baby sister is one of them. she loves an organized space. So when she was in grad school and I lived in Washington, D.C., she'd come to my apartment, Lindsey, and I'd leave it messy. Because I know that by the time I got home, everything was neatly organized. I'm telling you, this woman can know in her closet where the blue t-shirt is, in what drawer, how many rows down. Like, yeah, I am not that. So I would leave and I would come back and my apartment would be spotless. I'm like, So yes, to your point, why not?
Surrender
that responsibility.
Yes. And not only is it allowing someone else to walk in their gift and serve them, but you're also feeding the economy. But you are able to do something that you enjoy or work on something that you want to work on while you're allowing somebody else to walk in their gift, because we're all meant to work together. But what I was going to mention was that it actually was not as expensive as I was making it seem. Right. And that's kind of part of that subconscious limiting belief of, holding ourselves back from the things that we truly desire. Like we put these limits on it and it's like, well, how do you know how much it really costs? Have you actually ever checked how much it really costs? And then once you actually check, it was like, I spend that on just eating out. Like I can do that.
Right. So I literally have a list of these are the things I'd want to include in my life. And I believe when you write it down and you look at it, because I have it on my list as landscaping. And I've had that on my list for probably 6 years, just looking at it. I was out there mowing the lawn, weeding. Like I'm not, and not to say that, I have someone he's fully doing it, but it was all God, because he just said, hey, I see your lawn. And I low-key, I really think he was like, oh. And he said, here's my rate. And would you be interested? And I said, yeah. And then the feeling of just coming back, I sit in my backyard now, and that brings me so much peace. So I'm grateful. And I keep saying, thank you, God. Can I please have more? Like, thank you for being able to, at this season, because, and it's not, Lindsey, I don't want anybody to think, oh, she's out here balling. No, I'm not balling, y'all. It just, in that instant, in that moment, it was a huge blessing. And don't discount yourself from the blessing because you have this made up number. Find out if there's something that you want to take off your plate, especially if you're running a household. Like my daughter, she's 19. I don't, I can't imagine having small kids. Like during the pandemic when moms had to homeschool and they were entertainment flashbacks. You see what I'm saying? Lindsey's out of flashbacks. They had to do all of these things. Wouldn't it be helpful to have being able to be in a position to hire someone to be able to take that off so we can, like you said, if it's business wise, live in your genius, or just to have a break. Just have a break. For no other reason. I don't want to do it, so I want to break. Someone else do it. Yeah. Good.
Just a break for any of the leaders that serve as mothers or even fathers, because guys
and dads too,
as well. So don't be afraid to have that babysitter just because you need a break. Not because you got to go to work, not because you got to run errands, but because you want to take a nap or because you want to go have a margarita. You want to go take a walk in the park, like
but yes.
Don't be ashamed. Listen, didn't I tell y'all that the lovely Kisha was going to be amazing? And
this was so fun.
Y'all were going to love her just as much as I did. So now, are you up for a game?
Oh, yeah. Let's play a game.
Let me get my handy dandy.
Do I need pen and paper? I have it handy.
No.
All right. Okay. I was ready to go.
So this is real simple. It's called First Class Favorite Things. Okay. So I'm going to say, what's your favorite fill in the blank, and you're going to fill in the blank.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I love this game.
In 10 seconds or less.
Oh, all right. Okay. Okay. Yes. I got it.
If you miss the buzzer, then
there's a buzzer, Lindsey. This is pressure. Okay, I'm ready.
That's what makes it fun.
Oh my goodness.
If you miss the buzzer, you are going to punish the first class family, okay? And it's all about a matter of perspective, though, because what's punishment to one might be reward to another, i.e. a push-up. Like, that's punishment to me, but somebody on the fitness is like, yes, give me more.
I know.
So,
God bless them.
exactly. So we'll start with something easy. Okay. What is your favorite movie? Go.
Harry Potter, any of them.
Oh, any of them. Okay.
And any Will Smith, except there's one I don't like, but yeah, Harry Potter.
So what's your favorite Harry Potter of the Harry Potters?
Sorcerer's Stone. I've watched that. I watched it. The first one. Yeah. It's my favorite.
Okay. And you had 6 seconds to spare, so.
And I didn't know what was going to come out because any of the movies that I love could have come out. Bad Boys, like I watched that ad nauseum, but Harry Potter came to mind because it combines everything, all the movie types that I love. Yeah.
Nice. What's your favorite color? Go.
Yellow. I don't wear a stitch of it. You won't see me in it, but it is my favorite.
That's so crazy. I think you would look really beautiful in yellow.
Child, listen, I could tell you a story about me and color. Oh, I'll tell you this one funny one. So I'll make it quick. I came home one day because my husband was like, you wear so much black. Stop wearing black. So I came home. This was when I worked for someone else. So after work, I went to the mall. I bought a green suit. Why? Because I'd had a green dress that I got lots of compliments back on. So I thought, a green suit. So I sat him down in the living room. I went in and changed. Girl, I was like, close your eyes. I came in the living room. I was like, ta-da. He's like, you look like Kermit. I was like, really? So I went back to my black. I was like, forget you. I'm not trying to please you. Please myself. But yellow is my favorite color. Yeah.
Well, listen, I'm going to challenge you to put on a beautiful yellow dress. Like, whatever kind of dress you want, whatever kind of dress you find flattering. If you don't like dresses, then I'll let you change it to something else. But it has to be like a jumpsuit or something just where it's just you and yellow.
Yes, I do have to I was trying to get something yellow. It didn't quite work out for Web Summit because I went shopping with one of our speakers, Rola. She came over from England and we went shopping right as she got off the plane. It was awesome. And so she picked out this hot pink dress because I told her I was wearing black to Web. And she goes, you're not. And so it was a hot pink dress and then a yellow jacket to go with a black dress. And the hot pink went with a black jacket. So it was 4 things that we bought. I didn't try them on. I just picked them up. Do you know what fit? What fit and what I wore to Wib? The black jacket and the black dress. I was trying to tell her. I was like, it's meant to be. But yeah, it's all good. I will wear some yellow someday.
We're going to have you try it on. I got sites. You need sites? I got websites for you. What is your favorite book? Title and author, go.
Oh, the one that comes to mind is Who Moved My Cheese? I was just talking about that on a podcast. That book is short. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. The Year of Yes is another great one. Anything by Malcolm Gladwell, Outliers, so what's the one with the match? There's Outliers and there's Blink. No, not Blink. Is it Blink? Oh my goodness. What's the other Malcolm Gladwell book? But yeah, Who Moves My Cheese?
By Spencer Johnson.
Johnson.
Yep, it's right over there. I haven't read it in a long time. It's probably due for a reread. But yes, I knew exactly what book you were talking about. What's your favorite song, artist, and title? Go.
Oh man. All right, I'm going to have to go back to my roots and pick Bob Marley and Three Little Birds. Oh, no, Could You Be Loved? It's not it's one of my favorite songs. I love that and Father Figure by, what's his name, George Michael. But I'll stick with the first one because it connects me back to my roots.
Nice.
Man, this is so fun. Do you do this with all your guests?
Yes.
I love this so much. Go ahead.
We play first class favorite things.
I love it.
And I'll tell you why it's so important in just a moment. After you say, what is your favorite activity to do to relax? Go.
Oh, nothing?
Nothing. Like doing nothing, intentionally doing nothing?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, we'll take it.
I know. I was like, Yeah, to relax, doing nothing or hanging with the family and laughing my head off, like, because they're funny. My sister Shiki especially is hilarious.
And I can understand that.
Yeah,
I
but
can
just
understand.
nothing, just chilling,
Because
relaxing.
when you're busy doing all the things, it's nice to just turn your brain off.
Yeah, do nothing.
hmm What is your favorite place to travel specifically? Go.
Oh, Lindsay. Favorite. It's a cop out. Feels like to pick Jamaica, but I love going there. But I have. Can I switch it a little and tell you my wish list? Portugal.
Yes.
Dang it! Dang it! I got the buzzer. Somebody's got to do a push up or something. I'm sorry.
We love you. 10 push-ups, but we love you. So you
Sorry,
said your
guys.
wish list is Portugal?
I have Portugal, Greece, Costa Rica. Turks and Caicos looks super fun. Super expensive, but super fun. Yeah, so there's a list. Iceland, I've always wanted to go to Reykjavik and see, because I have a friend who's from there.
Reykjavik,
I have a list.
Is that what Reykjavik, Iceland?
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it. Don't ask me. Just the capital.
Gotcha.
Iceland.
Okay. Last one. What's your favorite food? Go.
Jamaican.
Specifically.
Oh, oxtail and rice and peas.
Oh, yes. Listen, next time I see you, I'm going to, can you make some oxtails, please?
That's my mom. You're going to have to ask my mom for that. She or my auntie B. That's it. Don't ask me to make it.
Okay, anybody. Yeah, I'll take it. But listen, I always love first class favorite things, because if you are a member of our private Patreon community for the first class family, then you get access to our list of first class favorite things.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, right? So it's uniquely curated by all of our phenomenal guests.
Yay.
It's our reading list, our song list, because some people prefer music over books, our places to travel, because we like to be well-cultured and well-experienced in this life, and then relaxing activities, because we're all about self-care. Everything else is just...
Oh my gosh, I love that. That deserves a pom-pom shake. Woo-hoo!
Yes. Looking for amazing products to help boost your first class lifestyle? Then head over to firstclasslifeshop.com, where you can treat yourself to personal development books and workbooks, lifestyle affirmation cards, adult coloring books, mugs, notebooks, hoodies, t-shirts, leggings, and more. All products were designed to help you master your mindset, walk in your purpose, and live your first class life, because you deserve it. So treat yourself today at firstclasslifeshop.com. Again, that's firstclasslifeshop.com. So I know that we've been talking about a lot of things here, and
yes,
I know that you exude living and creating your first class life. And so for those of you that are new to the show, creating your first class life is all about being intentional about creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. It's about shedding away those masks that we put on day in and day out. You know the ones: shame, fear, doubt, living up to other people's expectations, and instead showing up fully and boldly and confidently in who we are, flaws and all. So, First Class Life is actually an acronym that stands for all of the different characteristics and skills that you want to embody into your lifestyle so that you can create a first class life. Now, if you want to know what those are, you can do one of two things. You can either go to firstclasslifeshop.com and buy the book, First Class Life, 10 Key Factors for Creating a Life Full of Purpose, Fulfillment, and Happiness. Or you can go listen to episode 1 of First Class Life Show, where I explain each of the factors in detail. But for now, we want to find out what the beautiful, lovely Kisha, which factor of first class life do you resonate with the most?
So, can I pick 2? Faithful and confidence.
Nice.
Those are the 2.
Go ahead and explain why.
You have to, because faithfulness for me means that you trust yourself, you trust the process, even when it doesn't look like it should. Especially if you're an entrepreneur, because you know you're going to have hard days. Well, maybe you don't know. And when that rude awakening hits you, it's your faith that's going to keep you going and connecting back to why did you even start in the first place. And then confidence, even when sometimes you have to build that within yourself through whatever means, music, just going after what you believe in and seeing what happens. Confidence is super important. So whatever you can do to build that confidence, and funny enough, to build your confidence, you're going to have to fall down. You're going to have to fail. And then you win through the failures, and then that builds your confidence. So that's why those two stand out to me. And I love that, Lindsey.
And I love your answer. And that is so true. Building your confidence comes from the falling. Thank you. Can't
have one without the other, because that's when you know, I'm on the right track. Because let me tell you, when I first started to charge my event clients, I was like, oh my Lord, I was working for a penny on the dollar. What was I thinking? I didn't have the confidence to know that I could ask for my price and know that I come with the goods. So that came from a bold step. One day I actually sent out my price, and then it came back, oh yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
That makes me think back to the very first time I did like a full-fledged coaching program, and everything that was included, and then it included a retreat, it included co-authoring a book, and like all of the things that were a part of it. Like I was literally working my ass off, okay? And I love my clients, but the value that they got for the price that they paid will never happen again. Like they were good to be in that first group because you got $1 million worth of value, okay? Priceless, really. And you're paying pennies on the penny, not even penny on the
right. And but it's one of those fall downs that you get up from, and you're stronger and your confidence grows from it. So it's not that we don't want to do that, but it helps us learn where our worth and be confident saying, and also the confidence of knowing not everything is for you and not every client is for you. So if someone tells you no, okay, you just move on.
Being okay with that no.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Let us know. The other kind of no. How do you serve the world as a leader today? Tell us about what you do. I know we've talked about it some, but share with us officially.
So I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and my work is to help small business owners through my Women in Business Summit. So I am the founder of WIB Summit, Women in Business Summit. And I'm also an event planner. That's what I do full time. And I help nonprofits and corporate clients plan and execute their event. And I've shared, I love my Mary Kay skincare and face, brought to you by my Mary Kay business. And I absolutely love, because I've met some incredible women through it. And it was a very impulsive decision, but one that I love. And today's my anniversary. So yay, 13 years, Camille. So that's how I serve, is just being of service in those areas, helping entrepreneurs grow, start and grow their business through WIB Summit, helping my event clients, conceptualize and plan and execute their event, small, medium, or large. And then through my Mary Kay, work with my team and work, with my customers to provide them with the best service for skincare and color cosmetics. That is my life. And then, I'm a stepmom, I'm a daughter, and all of the other things. So that's what I'll be doing for the rest of my life. And then there's my idea box, Lindsey, which we're not even going to get into. This is my dream box with everything that I hope to one day.
Listen, you might as well share.
No, I'll share what the box looks like.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, no, this is my. It's just so. At first, it says idea box, but then it's my dream box, and it just has things in here. I'll come back on the show and share. Okay. There's one thing that I really want to work on, but it's so great. I keep these note cards on my desk. So as ideas pop into my head, I pop them into my dream box, and then I go visit the dream box. I put a date on it. And then if it's something that I'm not passionate about any longer, I toss it. But yeah, I keep this on my desk and I keep my dream box very close at hand, and keep it moving. So.
I love it. I love it. That's so nice.
It's important to keep dreaming, and it's never, it's like you hear, it's never too late. Truly, it's never too late to bring an idea to fruition. Just take the courage and try it out, and you will learn along the way, and you'll learn if you like it, love it, or want to leave it. And it's all good.
Yep. And you'll never learn those things until you actually take action to do them. So
absolutely.
Gotta start.
Absolutely.
Well, let us know how we can reach you. How can the First Class family connect with you, attend your events, buy some Mary Kay? Let us know how we can find you on these internet streets.
So my all-encompassing website is KishaZullo.com. That has all the things that I do: event planning, Whip Summit, and Mary Kay. So that is a great place to start, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn is the best place professionally to connect with me. I do have an IG, but that's at Whip Summit. I maintain that. That's a great place. But yeah, to just reach me in general, just go to KishaZullo.com.
Nice. Yeah. And don't worry, we will have that link in the show notes. You can just click it. I know sometimes we don't feel like typing stuff, and that's okay. We got you covered.
Right. Just click the link. Yeah. Yes. But I'm happy to connect with you, your audience, and you've been just so amazing, Lindsey, and such a blessing in my life. And thank you for just this conversation. It really brought up some things I didn't know what to expect, because she doesn't say, here are the questions. We just flow and have a conversation. And I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Got to keep it organic, because it's easy to sound robotic and to try and fall into the script of what we think we should say whenever there is a script. And we don't want that with First Class Life show. Okay. We want the real, what is on your heart, what's on your mind, and what's needed in this time, because it'll come out.
Yeah, it sure did. I didn't expect to share some of the things that I did, but it's all good. I think someone's meant to hear it.
And we appreciate you for sharing and being willing to show up and share with us. So
thank you.
Do you have any final words of advice on how we can go out and create our first class life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness?
So something I heard recently, it's not always about money. Everybody, especially if you're an entrepreneur, wants to be a millionaire, earn 7 figures, all of that, which is it's great. However, it's about checking in with yourself to make sure that what you're asking for is really what makes sense and what makes you happy, because you might get to that million, but then you don't have time, you're not sleeping, you're not seeing family, you're out of alignment with your values. So my advice, and it's something that I'm practicing now, is to just check in and recognizing how you're feeling in the moment. If you feel uneasy, why are you feeling uneasy? It could be a person, it could be something that happened, and writing it down, just being really self-aware, and always continue to learn and grow, get out of your space or expand your space. You hear get out of your comfort zone, just expand it, go to conferences, listen to things like this conversation that we're having, pour into yourself always, because I promise you that the people around you will be better for it, and you will be better for it. So that's my 2 cents.
And it was amazing.
I love you.
Thank you again for coming on and being the amazing guest that I knew you would be. And thank you, First Class family, for tuning in, because as I said at the top of the hour, I know that you can be doing anything in the world, but you are here with us, tuned in, helping you to maximize your impact while creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. So make sure you share this episode out, share your insights, be sure to tag us on social media, and tune in next week for another episode of the First Class Life Show. Meanwhile, go out there and keep creating your first class life, because you deserve it. Bye.
Lindsey, you're awesome.
Why, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end. But please be sure to subscribe to the First Class Life Show. And don't forget to rate, leave a review, and join our private community so that we can continue to provide you with great personal development conversations to help you maximize your impact while creating a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and happiness. You deserve it.